it's Teacher Angie here, and I brought, this is really truly from my childhood, one of my favorite books. We're going to read it today. It's called Stone Soup. And the reason why I like this story is because it kind of builds on itself. Each page has one new part it adds, and then you repeat what the other pages said. You'll see. So let's read together. Stone Soup. This version is by Ann McGovern, and the pictures were drawn by Winslow Tiny Pells. A young man was walking. He walked and he walked and he walked. He walked all night and he walked all day. He was tired and he was hungry. At last he came to a big house. "What a fine house," he said. "There will be plenty of food for me here." He knocked on the door. A little old lady opened it. "Good lady," said the young man, "I am very hungry. Can you give me something to eat?" "I have nothing for you here," said the little old lady. "I have nothing in the house. I have nothing in the garden." And she began to close the door. "Stop," said the young man. "If you will not give me something to eat, will you give me a stone?" "A stone?" said the little old lady. "What will you do with a stone? You cannot eat a stone." "Ah," said the young man, "I can make soup from a stone." Now the little old lady had never heard of that. Make soup from a stone? Fancy that. "There are some stones in the road," said the little old lady. The young man picked up a round gray stone. "Ah, this stone will make fine soup," he said. "Now get me a pot." The little old lady got a pot. "Fill the pot with water and put it on the fire," the young man said. The little old lady did as she was told, and soon the water was bubbling in the pot. The young man put the round gray stone into the pot. "Now we'll wait for the stone to cook into soup," he said. The pot bubbled and bubbled. After a while, the little old lady said, "This soup is cooking fast." "Ah, it's cooking fast now," said the hungry young man. "But it would cook even faster if it had some onions." So the little old lady went to the garden to get some yellow onions. Hey, she said she didn't have any food in the garden. Into the pot went the yellow onions with the round gray stone. "Soup from a stone," said the little old lady. "Fancy that." The pot bubbled and bubbled. After a while, the little old lady said, "This soup smells good." "It smells good now," said the hungry young man, "but it would smell even better with some carrots." So the little old lady went out to the garden and pulled up all the carrots that she could carry. Into the pot went the long thin carrots with the yellow onions and the round gray stone. "Soup from a stone," said the little old lady. "Fancy that." The pot bubbled and bubbled. After a while, the little old lady said, "This soup tastes good." "It tastes good now," said the hungry young man, "but it would taste even better with some beef bones." So the little old lady went to get some juicy beef bones. Into the pot went the juicy beef bones. Do you remember what came before that? The long thin carrots, the yellow onions, and the round gray stone. "Soup from a stone," said the little old lady. "Fancy that." The pot bubbled and bubbled. After a while, the little old lady said, "This soup is fit for a prince." "Ah, it's fit for a prince now," said the hungry young man, "but it would be fit for a king with a bit of pepper and a handful of salt. So the little old lady got the pepper and salt. Into the pot went the bit of pepper and the handful of salt, with the juicy beef bones, the long thin carrots, the yellow onions, and the round gray stone. What does she say? Soup from a stone, said the little old lady. Fancy that! The pot bubbled and bubbled. After a while, the little old lady said, This soup is too thin. Oh, it's too thin now, said the hungry young man, but it would be nice and thick with some butter and barley. So the little old lady went to get butter and barley. Into the pot went the butter and barley, with a bit of pepper and a handful of salt, the juicy beef bones, and the long thin carrots, and the yellow onions, and the round gray stone. Soup from a stone, said the little old lady. Fancy that! The pot bubbled and bubbled. And after a while, the little old lady tasted the soup again. This is good soup, she said. Yes, said the hungry young man. This is soup fit for a king. Now we will eat it. Stop, said the little old lady. This soup is indeed fit for a king. Now I shall set a table fit for a king. So she took out her best tablecloth and her best dishes. Then the little old lady and the hungry young man ate all the soup. It was the soup that was made with the butter and barley, the bit of pepper, the handful of salt, the juicy beef bones, the long thin carrots, and the round gray stone. Oh, I forgot the yellow onions. Yellow onions too. That's a lot of ingredients now, huh? I don't know if this soup is just from a stone. Soup from a stone, said the little old lady. Fancy that! Now I must be on my way, said the young man. He took the stone out of the pot and put it into his pocket. Why are you taking the stone? Said the little old lady. Well, said the young man, this stone is not cooked enough. I will cook it some more tomorrow. And the young man said goodbye. He walked on down the road. He walked and he walked. What a fine supper I will have tomorrow, he said to himself. Soup from a stone. Fancy that. The end. I hope you enjoyed reading this story with me, and I'm going to take some pictures so you guys will be able to see the pictures of the story really close on the screen, because I love the expressions that everyone has on their face, especially the little old lady when she goes like this. All right, I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.